Good morning, everybody. It's Jeff Eichen with the morning reading. Today we have Give Peas a Chance and Peas and Carrots. So today I'm reading a little bit about chopping wood, ego and eco, guilt, dirty dancing, and how a tree is like a lobster. So let me check my mic here, see if we got the right mic on. We do. So I'm coming to you live from my studio, and today is a beautiful day, and we're going to read some Give Peas a Chance. The Ancients, Eco, Guilt, Dirty Dancing, and How a Tree is Like a Lobster. The ancients were wrong. There are 5 primal substances, not 4, on Earth: air, water, fire, and wood. Wood is the healthy emanation of the planet's roots, reaching literally up out of the earth towards the sky with merely fibrous solidity. The wood is embodiment of life made substantial in literal meaning of substance, and splitting wood is very way of revealing the inner aspect, delving into the secrets, and thereby coming into terms with it. Wood is remarkable stuff. It is heavy, yet it floats. Except for ironwood, a few other peculiar species, it is or was alive, and yet to be wooden is to be solid and inert. It is extraordinarily strong, yet it can be carved and cut and whittled and sawed and shaped and sanded, and it holds a nail or a screw like nothing else. It is the soul of the trees, and of course, we human beings owed much of our early primate evolution to trees, although the subsequently abandoned wood and a medium movement and fundamental habitat. It is now stranger to us, and yet every child yearns to climb a tree, and adults love to see them or just rest under them, and to run their hands over the smoothness of a polished wood and a mere beauty of grain and texture. It is blocky and without movement, and yet it is also primordial stuff of fires, or at least fires as people have made them out for thousands of generations. A tree stands alone. A tree stands there where Annie Dillard, accumulating deadwood, mute, rigid, and obelisk. But secretly, it sees, seethes, it splits, it sucks, it stretches, it heaves up tons of hurls, and hurls them out in a green fringed fling. No person taps this free power. No, dearest Annie, you're wrong. I tap the power of a tree by cutting them down and up, burning them away right before my own astonished eyes. We can be assured that people have been reducing large pieces of wood into smaller chunks for the express purpose of providing heat for a very long time. In an age of 3 Mile Island and Chernobyl and injunction, split wood, not atoms, makes particular sense. Wood makes us warm in many ways. Cutting down a tree, it warms us. Cutting the log further into sections, round, it warms us. Chopping wood round sections, splitting the body of a trunk into convenient burnable pieces, it warms us. Stalking the split firewood, it warms us. And also, by the time we sit by the campfire or stove or fire experience, what is supposed to be raison d'etre, of woodchopper, a laborer's experience of the release of sunshine long ago captured in the living structure of the tree. That final warming seems to almost be besides the point. Almost, but not quite. If winter is a time of reflecting, hunkering down, and making it through the vitality of the rest of the year, burning wood provides the light and the warmth and to do it by. Much of the time in winter is releasing the memories and the wisdom of early times, re-experiencing what went before. The wood of fire does this, literally releasing the energy gathered from earlier days, and the sun, rain, and dirt, moreover, is elemental presence, almost a household god. Most Americans, especially urban dwellers, cannot situate themselves in the natural ebb and flow of the earthly rhythms. However, many of us can tell the phase of the moon and the height of the tides when times of sunrise or sunset. Maybe it's 11 o'clock, but do you know what time it is really? It is sunspot time, sea turtle spawning time, time for goldenrod blossom time. Even progression in the same seasons make barely a scratch over the exterior air, and conditioning and central heating make summer and winter virtually interchangeable with the alphabet. Doesn't actually turn into ice in winter. So maybe this is why chopping wood feels so good, and not only doing it for wood chopping in preparation is getting ready for the next swing of the seasons. Like the bear laying on the on the Red Wings heading south, the bear doesn't fret over how much adipose tissues to accumulate. The Red Wing knows how far to fly and when to start doing so. But to how much wood to chop, people tend to look for omens, consulting others and wiser than themselves, and the patterns of woolly bear caterpillars and the thickness of the muskrat fur in October, and the height of the spider, Agaz, the spider. As a child, I once went fishing in the northern Quebec, guided by an eloquent man named Thomas Laforboise, and the Indian for all the Indians for miles around, for some reason, were named Laformose, raspberry in English. His ancestors had lived in the woods, northern Canada, for many generations, hunting moose and catching wallies and northern pike and the cold, dark waters of now Verndie Park. It is September, Thomas said. Matter of factly, hard winter is coming on this year. I asked how he knew, expecting he would be told some new engaging bit of native lore, but instead I learned, you know, for sure, that winter be hard when white men stack up lots of firewood. Chopping is said to say it isn't sweetness and light and warmth and sweat. There is also dark side, something we might call ego guilt. Eco guilt is self-conscious guilt of ecologically aware, but at the right, ask ourselves, do we kill trees for our own warmth and satisfaction? Who are we to do such things? This is how we justly deforestation, whether it be our own wood or local ecosystem or entire continent, and ultimately the planet. The soil erosion and destruction of wildlife habitats is so often implied. When it comes to wood chopping, eco-guilt looms larger than with other outdoor love songs. Here is considered certainly stargazing is not environmentally destructive, and organic gardening only minimally so, if at all. But backpacking experts exacts it all toll on backcountry. For example, does cross-country skiing to a lesser extent, or even bird watching, and to my knowledge, has ever argued that the horse poop, despite undeniable organicness, adds to the aesthetic quality of the environment, whether humans or equine. In most cases, it takes gasoline or even being appreciating the outdoors of the gasoline itself or the non-renewable resources to the whole combustion creates pollution and whose refining transportation and leads to oil spills and I can't read that word. There can be little argument that the adverse environmental impact of burning wood or smaller amounts of gas or a small amount of gasoline pales in comparison, which is such a major insult in creating thousands of tons of nuclear waste, lethal for the next 100,000 years, and poisoning the land with a broad spectrum of toxins. But nonetheless, the eco-guilt of the home woodsman or the most well-meaning nature lover is not only real but appropriate. It is part larger human dilemma. How are we to live on the planet in a humane, sustainable, sensitive manner? It's a big topic. Chopping wood. Who knew I'd be reading about chopping wood? So I'll finish that tomorrow. And hemp hooray, everybody. Chopping wood is part of the eco guilt, I guess. So love you all. Peace and have a great weekend. Okay, Jeff Eichen on Saturday morning. Wish you were here. Please go to my site to purchase any of my work. There's trees, there's beautiful landscapes, and fine art.